In a nutshell, everything we've talked about the last couple of days in terms of science and confirmation bias and the goals of psychological science is basically, I want you as a student of psychology to think critically. This is about every single thing you hear in class, everything that I talk to you about, all of the experiments that I present to you. I do not want you to blindly accept all of the things that I say as absolute fact, because they are not absolute fact. So I want you to question me. I want you to say, show me the data, show me the evidence, show me the proof. In today's political climate, in today's climate, in which we're talking a lot about science and there's a pandemic right now, so we're in the age of COVID. It's okay to question things, and I think that good consumers of psychological science question what is being presented to them and what is being what they see on the news and what they see in the media, and that's okay. I want you to do that, right? I want you to question me, and that's totally okay. Because much of what we have learned about human thought and behavior we have things that we think as people that we think are absolute fact that just aren't true. A great example is that there are learning styles, right? There aren't. Even Howard Gardner, who is the person who came up with the theory of multiple intelligences, says no. Right, vitamin C has nothing to do with colds. So if your dad or your parents still push vitamin C on you when you have a cold, like there is absolutely zero evidence that there's a correlation between vitamin C and colds. Carrots and eyesight. My mom always told me to eat carrots because it would help my eyesight. It doesn't. There is no such thing as being left-brained or right-brained. You might have already taken a left brain or right brain study in the school year, and you're both brained always. You might have heard you only use 10% of your brain. Also not true. You use 100% of your brain all the time. People might think that, right, because you have this unlimited storage potential of memory that you only use a small bit of it, but there's no evidence to indicate that you only use 10% of your brain ever. There's a document that's in the notes here. It's a retrieval practice example. So retrieval practice is a way to study in which you try to pull out of your brain what I've tried to put in, or what you've put in via reading or via other types of learning. So if you can, on the sheet of paper that I've given you in class or on the document that's attached here, if you can explain all of the things and repeat back or use new examples of or demonstrate your understanding of in your own words without looking at notes or resources or Googling things, you have learned you've learned what I've wanted you to learn. If, however, you look at it and you're like, goals of psychological science, yeah, I got nothing. That's something that then I would go back into your notes and review to see if you can get that into your mind. Okay, this is a type of studying called retrieval practice. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, and let me know if you have any questions.